can try and make those people come together.
My name is Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
I live in the city, not in this district.
Okay.
I was wondering if you have an example of a recent decision by the city council, a good decision, and an example of a bad decision by the city council.
The good decision is both. Recently, they passed a new human rights ordinance. Okay. And one of the things they added to that human rights ordinance is that landlords could no longer discriminate based on source of income. Now, what that means is that people who have a Section 8 voucher, right now the landlords can say we don't take them. So now the landlord can't say that. They can say we won't have you in our place because we don't think you're a good renter, you don't have a good history, you don't have enough income. They can do that kind of thing, but they can't say they won't take the voucher. Now, in order to make that human rights ordinance work, Karen Stratton in particular talked to 40 different groups to get their buy-in, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's really something that I'm very much a part of. I really want to see more conversation. That was great. But if you went to that city council meeting, the people who spoke against it were members of the organizations that had supported it. So what happened is she talked to the heads of the organization, but not the people. So that wasn't a complete conversation in my view, okay?
So you agree with the ordinance, but not that piece?
I think if they had had that conversation, the parts of the ordinance that people didn't like would have been dealt with.
Okay.
And it wasn't dealt with because she didn't have that conversation. Yeah. Hey.
Hey. I'll let other people go.
Oh, no, I think,
3 minutes, folks, 3 or 4 minutes,
Okay.
and we're gonna.
One last follow-up, Catherine. While it has to be awarded the lowest bidder, is it also tied with a certain type of construction material on the roads, or is that part of the problem?
All right, I'm not an expert on this, but when I talked to him, what he said was that some of the repair methods they use take 10 people to do, especially when it's wet or cold. So I remember I said there were 25 people in 2 shifts, that's like 12 people a shift. So to do that kind of work means that nothing else is getting done. You're doing a hole at a time. So it would seem to me there are other options. I'm not an expert, but I would bet there are. So,
Trade-off is the amount of service versus the quality itself.
well, I think that's woefully underfunded is what I think, actually. I think that's a big piece of the problem.
Yeah, you mentioned that to bring businesses into Hilliard, you'd invite corporate headquarters. And
No, I said other people think that's the way to go. I think it's mom and pop businesses.
That's what I said.
That's my approach. Because the people here should do the work. Yeah, and keep it here. Yes, yes. Yep, yep.
So how do we make sure those mom and pop jobs are living wage jobs and that they'll actually grow the local median income?
One of the things that I've done in my life is get people into business. I've spent years teaching people how to start their own businesses, so I know it's really possible. One of the first businesses I started was the Entrepreneurial Skill Center. I taught high school kids how to do it. Okay, they hired their parents. They bought brand new cars at 16. They had adults who want to buy their business. It's really doable.
But as a city council person,
The city can support those kinds of programs.